Hey, welcome back to Techopolis 3, where in the last video, we set up this giant production line to completely automate advanced technium. And this was very hard and took a very long time, and still technically isn't done. It's functional, but it's not perfect. There's a couple pretty critical flaws right now. I've been trying to fix some of them on my own. Like, for example, now I've actually connected in the blast furnace preheaters, because I've significantly upgraded the power generation back here. But even this isn't great, because once the backlog's empty, or I actually manage to fill up on charcoal, then the power drains pretty fast. Speaking of the charcoal, that was another thing I tried to fix. I got a triple compressed furnace, just to be able to smelt the charcoal as fast as possible. But it doesn't get wood very quick. So I'll just have to make another cloche. But I forgot to do that, I guess. But this isn't the biggest problem here, because this is technically stable. I'm still producing enough redstone to keep up. The big problem that I'm having is with the ores back here, and also by extension with the ores over here. Because all of these require stone, essentially. These ones need deep slate, which needs stone in the blast furnace, which it is not getting very quickly. That's kind of the big bottleneck for everything right now, is I just don't have enough stone. Because a single miner is pretty terrible at doing that. So that's the first plan for this video, is to get some advanced miners. Because now that I've got advanced technium, I can get advanced research, and I can start doing all of this. I'll get advanced miners first, because they're the most crucial problem right now. But I may as well expand out to most things here. Drawer upgrades are pretty important. An advanced research crafter is very useful. And probably other things that it won't tell me until I start going down the tech tree. But I'll stay on the research tree for now. Anyway, that's the first order of business, is upgrade the miners. So I'll just start by making myself a bunch of advanced research. It's going to take a little while to go through. So what do I need for the blueprint? 8 basic miners. Okay. And to get the advanced miner itself, I just need a normal basic miner. Right. I'm going to be making a lot of these then. I'm going to try to make 10 of these miners, but I need a lot of tools. And this takes a lot of inventory space. And this is a very tedious process, but it's doable, just very slow. So there, 10 more basic miners. And the advanced research is done, so I can make that advanced miner blueprint. And with that, I'll just make 2 advanced miners. I'll probably upgrade all of these, just because it's worth it. I don't really need more clay, sand, or gravel. They're fine as is. But I run through cobblestone pretty quick on my own, so it'll be worthwhile upgrading this. And just thinking about how much stone I'm going to need, it could be worth making a second miner just to run the stone. Yeah, I might do that. So first of all, I just need to upgrade this to be the advanced miner. Oh, and I could get advanced technium machine frames too. They're not too bad. Need a lot more copper. I should have enough steel. And I've got a decent amount of spare advanced technium. So sure, I think I upgrade all of these to get advanced technium machine frames in them as well. Well, at the very least, I can start by upgrading these 2 advanced miners, and that'll give me some more basic miners to be able to upgrade. And then once I've upgraded all of these, I can make the advanced technium frames and switch them over. And that should make all of these be running slightly more than twice as quick. But that still won't be enough to keep up on the stone. So I'll just clear out a space on top of the previous stone miner. Then I just need to make myself a bunch more wooden scaffolding. And I can set this all up in exactly the same way as the previous miners, just taking advantage of the extra little bit of scaffolding. Then of course the core of stone, and the advanced miner with its own advanced technium machine frame. Then I just need to connect this, so that all of this ends up in the same storage area. And hopefully that generates enough stone to keep up. Because this should be producing every 60 ticks So 3 seconds, I get 4 stone, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instances of stone every 100 ticks. Yeah. And if I've done my maths correctly, I'm producing 6.6 stone every 100 ticks. So this is barely keeping up. It's just going to have to slowly fill up all of the sources of it, but then it should be able to run completely smoothly. Okay, and that more or less solves my ore problems. So then there's the next problem of fuel, to be able to actually get the deep slate. But for that, I should just need another cloche, but that's not very hard. The annoying part is getting the rest of the upgrades, but even that's not so bad. I'll just connect this up, and that should be doubling the amount of wood that I produce. Hopefully enough to keep up with my fuel production. Although, it looks like a triple compressed furnace might have been a bit overkill for this, but that's fine. So, that was the bulk of the problems that I had with this. Now there's only 2 other things on my mind, being power, which is reasonable when I've got 3 oil generators, but I don't think this is quite generating enough to keep up once all of these start running fully. And the other small problem I have is I'm producing too much residual salt there. I don't need 200 of it. And similarly, this still has a limited storage space, so I will eventually fill up on glass shards, and this blast furnace will stop working. So I need to get myself some drawer upgrades, because then I can get the storage downgrade for the salt, and the void upgrade for the glass. And I think that's going to be easier than power generation, so I will work on that first. And you know, while I'm here, I'll just get most of this other research done too. Because upgrading power, I'm probably going to have to go to the biogenerator, which just looking at this tree could be doable, but it might be a stretch to get it done. I don't know. I'll see how I go with all of this stuff. So first of all, drawer upgrades. I need 16 drawers, 12 advanced research. That's doable. I just need to get myself some drawer cores. But you know, this is going to take a while. So I'm going to get the advanced research crafter first. This just needs 2 basic research crafters and 16 advanced research. I can get the extra research crafters pretty easily. Most of that will spare, but I'm going to need another one to actually upgrade it, because I can't turn the existing research crafter into an advanced. There we go. Just swap it over, and back to making drawer cores. But anyway, drawers are done to get me the drawer upgrade blueprint. Now, I may as well get myself a bunch of drawer upgrade templates, because I'm going to need a lot of these if I want to use any amount of drawers. And I'll start by making that storage downgrade to put on the salt, but it's a bit full. Then if I steal some obsidian, I can get the void upgrade to put on the glass shards. So now, I don't think there's any problems with this being completely passive. I'm producing enough stone to keep up with the ores, and I have enough storage space to be able to keep all of these running indefinitely. The last problem I might have is with the palace crystals, because with the way that this works, it's just going to cycle items around indefinitely, and I think because they keep getting picked up by the hopper and then placed back down again, they won't ever despawn. But this isn't infinite storage, because if too many items stack up here, the game's just going to crash, or at the very least lag out a lot, and I don't want that. So what I've done is, taking advantage of the fact that the deep slate goes into the last rock washer the least, that one is on lead. So I should completely fill up on nickel and silver before anything with lead, meaning that I will never overflow on palace crystals. And also they are produced quite slowly. You can already see I'm full on silver and I'm full on nickel, so it's just waiting on the lead. Anyway, I'm getting a bit off topic here. What other research should I make right now? What's this speed curio do? Ah, just makes me faster. Okay, curios are pretty cheap, and doesn't require too much research. Guess while I'm at it, I can get the hunger curio, which is about the same thing. I am just going to need to get myself a bunch more research to afford them. And also sugar? I could get the sugar from the strainer. It's just sand. But I could probably grow some too, just down by the river here. That makes me wonder. Yeah, I can just find sugarcane along the riverbank. Sometimes I forget that just because this works in Skyblock doesn't mean I have to play it like Skyblock. So I can get all the sugarcane I need quite easily that way. So then with 16 sugar and a stack of bread, I can get the Speed Curio Blueprint and the Hunger Curio Blueprint. Then I'll just get 2 Curios, and I can make the Speed Curio and the Hunger Curio, which will take a while to go through. Now I just want to see how much quicker this actually makes me. Not too much quicker. Does it apply to flight speed? Hard to tell. Oh, it's literally just speed 2. I forget how much speed 2 even does. But also, I think speed effects only apply while grounded, so I don't know how useful that actually is. Also, I'm just going to turn down the FOV effects, because I don't like it distorting my screen so much. Same with the normal distortion effects, like nether portals and things. Yeah, that's nicer. And for some reason it makes me feel quicker as well. More so than the FOV change. Anyway, now I've got the Hunger Curio, and I have a suspicion I know what this does. Yep, I just have full saturation now. Cool. Overworld only, but I've got no idea when I'll need to go to the nether or if I even do. So for all intents and purposes, I don't need food anymore. Anyway, that's that out of the way. Moving on, there's item and fluid recycling. What does that do? Oh, with an item recycler I can just get tech bucks. I was wondering if there was a renewable source of that. Or the coupons themselves in the catalog can make things. As it stands, I have no reason to get rid of my spare creosote. It's just going to constantly make treated wood for basic technium. And I have no reason to produce hot water beyond creating fluid recycling coupons. But how about the item recycling? It takes sometimes a lot more, but leaves are extremely cheap to be able to make these. And yep, they're just renewable tech bucks in the event that I want to get any of this stuff. I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll hold on to my research. I don't know if it's worth it. But then the last one, the drawer compacting, I don't even remember how compacting drawers work. I mean, obviously they compact stuff, but could I not do that with crafters? So maybe that'd be useful once, I don't know what gigacompressed is, but presumably needs a lot of compression. But until then, I think I'll just hold off, because advanced technium is a bit more valuable to me right now than niche research. So then, I think it's time that I leave this alone and move on to the next tree. And I can probably get to the biogenerator in the rest of this video. And this could be much better power. 320 FE per tick. That's the same as 4 oil generators running full time. Or about 12 water wheels. So safe to say this is an upgrade. But it is fairly deep in this tree. But I guess I may as well get into it. So first, I need a metallurgic infuser, which doesn't seem too bad. I was expecting this to be a lot more expensive. I just need an advanced technium machine frame, 2 furnaces, some iron and some redstone, and there's that. And it seems the first thing I make with it is infused alloy, as per usual, and it's made with copper now instead of iron. I currently have a lot more iron than I do copper, but copper's fine too. So I think right off the bat here, I know I'm gonna need a lot of infused alloy, so I'm just gonna make a stack. And this is really slow, so I'm gonna see what it takes for the upgrades. Gold dust is quite far off, but osmium dust could be doable. Osmium is along the same tree here, and I need it anyway to get a control circuit. So I think I work down here while I wait for the infused alloy to go through. So I need to start with a manufactured osmium blueprint. That needs a bit of aluminium. I don't really have any spare though, so I think I'll just temporarily disconnect the aluminium until I've got enough ores. Okay, I've got a bunch more aluminium now, but it took so long that I've already finished all 64 infused alloy. And I think this will be enough aluminium? I'm just gonna have to put it through the crusher to find out. Yeah, that should be enough. I need to melt 32 of it into blocks, and the rest I need to keep as dust. So then with the 32 aluminium, I can get the manufactured osmium blueprint, and this needs aluminium dust to make the manufactured osmium, and all this does is it counts as, I guess, the chemical form of osmium to go in the metallurgic infuser to actually create osmium itself. But I need more stuff on top of that to process it. So with manufactured osmium and some more aluminium dust, I can make, what would that be, 10 dirty osmium? And apparently I can just turn it into normal osmium straight away. In the crusher, I guess it can. Let me see. Yep. And the first thing I'll do with that is make some speed upgrades, because this is way too slow. 5 will do. Maybe it's worth going all the way to 8. Just because I'll be using this machine so much that if it's quicker, it'll just make everything a lot easier. It does mean it's going to consume a lot more power, but this setup for manual usage is perfectly fine. Anyway, I can turn the rest into osmium ingots, just the usual way. I would like a bit more of it though. And actually, with osmium ingots, I shouldn't need the manufactured osmium anymore, because I can just create the chemical osmium and much more of it too. The big problem is the aluminium production. I'll worry about that later. For now, I can just carry on. I'm gonna need an inscriber, which seems expensive, but it doesn't seem that bad actually. I just need 2 pistons, and then osmium and copper. So that's pretty easy. And now I can get basic control circuits. I do just need lead though. So I think for now, I'm just gonna disconnect the lead so that I can build up a bit of it in here. I shouldn't need too much of this right now, because just looking at what I need for the biogenerator, I might only need 2? Going forwards, I'm gonna need quite a lot more though. I'll see what I can do. I think I'll make 4. That should do me for this video. Now with the basic control circuit and the infused alloy, and a little bit of silver, which I do have some spare, I can make the advanced circuits. And I think I should only need 2, but I'll make a 3rd one. So then, yeah, I just need the 2 for the crusher. I also need lava buckets, which for some reason I haven't made any buckets yet, but lava is not a problem. Then 4 redstone, easy, and an advanced technium machine frame, which I can do quite easily. So there is a crusher. So I can just stick that down there. Doesn't really matter right now. And with it, I can make biofuel out of pretty much anything. I'm wondering what would be easiest. Well, I can look for something that makes a lot of biofuel, like a pumpkin or a melon. They're both about the same, and nothing else seems quite as easy to automate. I get the same amount of biofuel as a cake, and this is so much harder to automate. So I'll just get myself a cloche and some of the upgrades, and I'll just set it up in the corner here with the rest of the power. Then I can start turning it into biofuel, but quite slowly. I might want to get some more speed upgrades. But first, I'll get the biogenerator itself. That doesn't require too much. And then I should be able to set up something pretty simple here to just pump the biofuel into the biogenerator and make a lot more energy. And I just want to see here, if I give it full speed upgrades, ooh, that needs a lot of power. If I plug it into the biogenerator, now it can keep up. Okay, but the problem now is that I get pumpkins fairly slowly. Although I don't know how much it's gonna matter, because I'm gonna be pretty full on biofuel soon. So then actually, I probably don't need full speed upgrades, because it just needs to maintain the amount of biofuel, and it seems to be doing that just fine. So I'm putting the speed back in the metallurgic infuser. Okay, so that's that. And I could get purified biofuel. Does it produce more? Yeah, double FE per tick, and lasts another 200 ticks. So this is more than twice as good. But it does require a bit more. It needs purifying water, and I could probably set up another water purifier with an ambient water collector. But it seems to want me to use purifying salt mulch in a melter. And now that I'm starting to do mechanism stuff, I can probably get it easier. I don't know, this still seems like a lot more work than just setting up a bunch of water purifiers. But as it stands, I still don't know how worthwhile this is when a biogenerator is so much more power. Biofuel is good enough for now. So I might set up another one of these around here to replace this big thing. But actually I might not need to right now, because most of the machines are already backed up, so the furnace preheaters aren't going to be going at full tilt. The deep slate is almost full, so I might not need more power than this. I think this is fine. But for now, I think this is a reasonable point to end this video. I've made a good amount of progress here. We've started some of the advanced research, which let us upgrade the miners to keep everything here running as close to full time as possible, and also still having a residual production of stone, which is very nice. And then we've started down this pure tree to get a biogenerator. So next time, I can probably finish off this tree. It'll let me start producing diamonds, and maybe touch on the teleporting tree? I don't know. Things start getting much more complicated now. I can't quite just power through an entire tree in one go. I don't know. I'll see how I do next time. How quickly I can get through this will determine whether or not I start the teleporting tree. I'll look into it on my own for next time. But I'm going in circles a bit now, so that means I don't have anything else to say. So I'm going to call the video here. Bye.